Well, for more on the insecurity plaguing Nigeria, we're being joined by defense and security expert, Dr. Kabiru Adamu. Thank you so much for joining us. Always good to see you. Help us break down these numbers. How troubling are they? And is it surprising that the Northwest has recorded the highest, number of fatalities, including kidnappings? Well, Southwest.
Not surprising at all, going by what is happening in the country. If you look at Zamfara State, Katsina State, Sokoto to an extent, these are all states in the Northwest, and they are at the forefront of virtually all the threat factors that we're monitoring. Kidnap for ransom, banditry activities. I doubt there is no day in the news that you don't report on Zamfara or Katsina. Life, frankly, has been reduced to that Hobatian state that we read about.
Short, brutal.
Exactly. People, unfortunately, don't have any confidence. The number of IDPs that are currently in Zamfara, both in formal camps and informal camps, that are living in a state that no human being should be living, unfortunately, are there. So it's not surprising, really. Rather, what it does is to bring out facts that people already know, but now using data to express those facts.
Yeah, it's quite worrying when you look at that data. The first they did was for 2020, and this one was up until December 2021. And you just look at January, we're barely 2 weeks into January, and the killings has been really heinous. It is, been
heart-rending,
and
brutal.
And you watch the videos of this terrorist, right? And you wonder, in an open plane, where is the Air Force?
So the last incident, based on what we heard from the victims, they came on motorbikes. Some victims would say between 100 or 200 of them on motorbikes. And then the interesting thing, there would be 2 persons, sometimes 3 persons. They ride up the bike and then carrying two other persons on the back. Now imagine in a desert terrain, 200 bikes, or let's even use the most conservative number, 100 bikes, the dust that they would have generated while they are moving from location to location. And another fact that worries us, or concerns us, if we that are into industrial security or private security are able to generate this kind of intelligence, and frankly, we can never boast to have the type of collection capabilities that the public security departments have. And it begs the question how that movement was allowed and how they were able to go from village to village to kill. The government said, according to Zamfara state government, they give a figure of around 60 persons, even though we've heard from witnesses and victims from within the town saying 200 persons were buried between Anka and Bukuim local government. Now imagine a situation where within 2 days, that number of motorcycles moved from village to village and killed persons.
Local governments.
All it would have taken, if there was adequate response, a single military asset from the Air Force could have just dropped a bomb on that 200 bikes
and let them at once. Well, so what is going on then? Because the governor of Borno State, Zulum, raised the issue of lack of synergy among the security forces. Though he, in the same breath, actually said, well, there seems to be an improvement on that front, and maybe that's why some, success is being achieved. But then again, he raised another concern that ISWAP, as Boko Haram members are surrendering, ISWAP is picking up steam.
Yeah, it's exactly tangent with what we've also gathered. ISWAP has become more strategic in terms of its presence within the location. We know that it had divided itself into about 4 protectorates, and that it has commanders that are in charge of those protectorates. We also know that it has more support coming from across the border, mainly from the Islamic State franchise from across the border. We also know that it's probably getting weaponry and tactics from across the border. However, we also know that the Nigerian military, in particular the Air Force, has increased its capacity for response within Borno. We know that recent attempts by the 2 two groups, both ISWAP and Jamaat al-Alifin al-Dawat wal-Jihad, to attack certain locations have been repelled successfully by the military. So showing an improvement in intelligence, an improvement in the ability of the Nigerian Air Force to respond and to provide both air support as well as tactical support on ground. So that we've seen that kind of improvement.
But what more needs to be done?
Now, with the statement by the governor, I think it requires clarification. When an average person hears control of a location, what comes to mind is what used to exist in those days where they would be governing the location. I don't think that is what is happening based on the intelligence that we have available to us. The city center may have military presence. However, 15 kilometers outside the city center may be, open to either side. So where the military are on patrol, most times you would not see the insurgents. But then where they are not on patrol, the insurgents will be able to take over. So it's very possible that from the governor perhaps used control to mean that it's outside the city center, a few kilometers outside, but not that they have their flags and they have their government structures in place and that they are running the locations administratively based on the intelligence available to us.
But it says they're collecting taxes.
In some locations, but not in the city center. That's the point I'm trying to make.
All right, Dr. Kabiru Adamu, I wish we have enough time to interrogate these issues because of the developing situation in the country. Yes, the Air Force is doing a yeoman's job. How about the ground forces? Are they really moving in? But maybe some other time. Dr. Kabiru Adamu is a defense and security analyst.